Hello everybody, and welcome to another video from Igne. It was requested that I cover island tactics and what I suggest in the island as far as possible tactics and positions, best positions as far as on the map, etc., etc. Sorry if I sound a little bit under the weather. I'm actually extremely sick right now, but I'll try to make it through the video with limited coughing and destroying your ears with loud coughs, but we'll get right into it. Also, there'll be a Discord link that's in the description. That is my personal YouTube Discord link. Anybody is welcome to join it, but as always, it is there to be used as a tool for the community, and so absolutely no bullying, bashing, racism, anything of that nature will get you immediately removed and banned from that room. It is there as a resource, and it's going to be intended for it to stay that way. So we'll get right into it. First thing that we'll get into is as far as the actual placement. Let me get into the overall map. So, wish you could zoom in more. But you have brown, blue, pink, orange, teal or cyan, yellow, purple, and green. And those are your selections. Now, personally, what I like to pick is I like to pick one of the two that has access to this Area 51. The reason why I do that is with the access to the Area 51, and especially if the other color is your allies, it gives you a unique advantage as far as any fighting that you might have to do later on in the clash area. But of the two, pink is the better option, just because they have the closest range not only to the Area 51 Clash Wonder, but their buildings are also not nearly as spread out as blue. Blue, you have to do a lot of traveling. From there, in which people might not agree with me, orange is one of the best options as well. Again, I still think the pink is the best, but the reason being is because in your clash area, you only have to face or potentially be allied with one other alliance. And then from there, the next best would be teal, because you have the shortest range to, one of the shortest ranges to not only the Clash Wonder, but to the tree, which is very important. Now, with Island, since the introduction of the fungi system, which I potentially am not a fan of, unfortunately it turned the island into an absolute necessity to have multiple allies, rather than potentially being able to go in as a show of force. So with that being said, your best bet as far as any island strategy is diplomacy. But then it raises the question of which is the best to try to get diplomacy with. Now, of course, there's a couple factors that you're looking at strength, but you're also looking at how well you guys can work together. There's many factors as far as that. In our particular island, for instance, there's one alliance that is stronger than us, core, and we actually ended up allied against them. But as far as the actual tactics when selecting allies, the one thing that it's always best to do is, unless you're in the pink and orange, you always want to have at least one ally in your clash area, and hopefully the stronger of the two, obviously. And I mean that's for pretty obvious reasonings as far as why you want to make it as easy on your resources to fungi as early on as you can. Now, as far as other potential allies, as far as other potential allies, the next best thing to do is to always have at least one or two allies from a clash that is opposite of yours. So, for instance, because we are in blue, we are looking at the orange and pink side to be allies. because they are on the opposite side, so we can essentially pinch in the tree area. Now the other option would have been to team up with yellow and teal, but we didn't do that. And the reason being, like I said, you'll be able to pinch when you have your ally that's in your clash area. You're able to pinch in the middle for the tree area and essentially keep anybody else from being able to come into the clash area or into the tree area. And depending on how many allies you have, potentially take over the entire map, which is essentially what we're doing right now. Now, with moving on from that, again, it depends on how many allies you actually have. Typically 3 to 4 is about as max as you really want to get, because the problem comes down to rewards at the end, and that comes down to what your intentions are as far as what you want for your alliance. So the way we have it is essentially all of us, whoever doesn't win the tree on our agreed day to fight, each one of our allies will get a Clash Wonder, so that we all leave with something. And there's several different ways to go about it, trying to select your allies as well, because it really depends what people's intents are. Are they there just to touch the tree once and they don't care about trying to get the win? There's always a difference in what alliances are actually looking for, and that might help you with your selection process. Now for us, there's 3 of us that actually want to have a chance at winning the island, so therefore we set it up to where basically the last day would be a friendly fight between everybody to see who would actually win the tree. Now, other strategies and tactics and such, usually, especially when it gets to the end of Clash, your stamina and your fungi, obviously, and your resources become key. So you really want to be good about your stamina management. Honestly, even for me, I have not been doing basically any of my hornets or insects at all, just because we have been fighting quite a bit. As you can see, the entire week I've only done 21 of them. So that gets back into your resource management. Like when it's an off time, it probably would be better to hit geckos instead of hornets, because of the enhancement resin that you get from it that will help you out with enhancing your buildings, etc., etc. Now, but on the flip side, if you're in need of resources, then hitting the hornets is better, because you get a little bit of resources each day. So it becomes a real good balance of, establishing which you are trying to focus on, whether it be to get stronger and you're okay on resources, or if you need more resources to be able to keep on fighting. And then it also comes down into your fungi limitations, because you don't want to always be, just smashing your head against a brick wall, essentially. You want to make sure that, when you are fighting, you're picking times when you find that they're not nearly as active, so that, it's not just butting heads of, who's stronger and who's not. And that way you can find and help people with being able to maintain the resources and fungi throughout. But all right, I believe that pretty much covers this video. I've been very sick. I'm going to try to do the other video that I promised to put out either later today or tomorrow. But I hope this video helped. If it did, drop a like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Egg out.